sometimes it can come across like I make all the right choices. I want to tell you a story that just clarifies that that is not the case. Okay, story time. Okay, so years ago, I was on a call with one of the more senior executives who was a couple steps above me. And we were talking about this regulatory issue that we needed to respond to. Now, these are problematic things when they come up. You never want to have a regulatory issue, right? But it does happen when you are working in a large corporation. There are going to be compliance issues that you just need to address and move forward with. And so that's what we were dealing with at the time. And I had come to the meeting that was with this higher up senior executive and a few other of her peers. Now, from my point, I am always looking at things strategically. I know that it's important that I bring my best self forward. I need to come with solutions. I need to come with valid ideas, and I need to be humble enough to learn from this array of higher up people in the organization. One, because I truly do want to learn from them, and two, because they need to see me as a sponge that is willing to do the work, has value to add, but also wants to learn from them. And so that's exactly how I approached the meeting. I came with a plan. It involved me reaching out to these regulatory agencies to provide our response on things. And I did that just because it was me taking on the work. I wasn't going to walk into that meeting and assign the work to them, to these higher up folks in the organization. So I mentioned that I would take on that work. Now, this higher up leader, she said, absolutely not. I will be reaching out to them. Just like that. Absolutely not. I will be reaching out to them. What? Okay, that's fine. I probably had a bit of a pause there in the meeting, but handled it ultimately with some grace for her. I just said, okay, that sounds good. You can handle that part. You and I can work out, who's going to do what in this sequence. Everyone else on the meeting was noticeably awkward. I even had one of those senior execs reach out to me and just check on me, make sure that, I was feeling okay after that. Now, I do not want to look like a delicate flower either, so I was very clear that I was just fine, no issues here. Also, this was kind of par for the course. And again, I am not perfect. So what I did was reach out to one of my friends and say, can you believe that this happened? This is what she said in this meeting. It was so bad that even this guy called me to see if I'm okay. Can you believe? And then I went home. And I replayed the meeting in my head, sounding a little like George Costanza with the jerk store comment. And I'm just rehashing this argument. Then we sit down to dinner, right? Our whole family is sitting down to dinner. Me, my husband, my 3 kids. And I replay this thing again. And I say, can you believe? And then I even had this guy reach out to me to see if I was okay. It's not in my head, right? It is her. It's all her fault. So the YouTube video this week is me responding to the better, the more productive way to handle that situation. Now, I am happy to say that I did handle it a slight bit better. I did take some of the steps that I recommend in that video. It just took me too long to get there. I wasted hours. I demonstrated a level of leadership to my children that I do not want to demonstrate. I set an example for my peers and for the people on my team, not in a way that I want to be perceived, not in a way that I want them to think is the right way to handle things. I did eventually go back to that senior leader and address it with her, which was great, but it was a little too late. If you want to learn a better way to handle this, something that's more productive and that isn't going to drain and suck your time and your energy and your mental capacity, then check out the link for this video, because you don't have to make the same mistakes I did.